Hey, Leilani with the Magical Solution here. So I'm sitting in my car because there's a thunderstorm outside, and sitting in my car and vibing out to the rain and the mist and the thunder and the lightning is just like one of my favorite things to do. But I figured while I'm out here, normally I would read a book, I would listen to music, or I would tap into, like one or two friends. But this time I said, you know what? Let me come on here, this here internet, and give a little sage advice. Right? So a couple of videos back, I talked about like having tact when you are in ceremony with people, right? So having tact when you're in ceremony with people, meaning like when you are getting your messages, that you have some decorum, that you have the ability to give that message and relay what spirit needs to be relayed in a way that the individual will not only understand, but will be for their betterment and progression. And I think that that's really important to say, right? Because we're so quick in our ceremonial spaces or in spaces where we're developing our mediumship, like we're so quick to just get the message out or to want to relay it as accurately as it was given to us with the same sort of tone and urgency and that sometimes when it comes out, it just gets lost in translation because of the way that it came out, right? So it never gets received the way it's supposed to, right? But another element that we tend to miss too is our own personal ego. And that is really, really tough. And this is, when spiritualists talk about discernment, you often hear that word utilized within reference to spirits. But I think spiritualists need to spend more time talking about discernment with regards to your own ego versus spirit, spirit talk, right? And it's tough to do that because spirit talks through you. And how do you talk? You talk like you, right? So like, in essence, they are moving through the filter of your ego. I mean, you kind of can't help that, right? But what you can do is be aware of your own personal ego. Like, the part that you can control it. So, what I mean by that is, you may not have control of what spirit says and how and what spirit does when it comes through you, but you do have control of how you receive that message, interpret that message, and then convey that message. You get what I'm saying? You have full control of all three of those activities. And so, with that said, there comes the responsibility of being aware of, for example, I'll give an example. Affirmative language, right? So affirmative language is this idea where when you speak it very with an affirmed, damn, chill out. This is a residential area, bro. With like an affirmed tone and using affirming language. An example of this would be like, oh my God, you always do X, Y, and Z, right? Oh my God, how come every time you always do this? Oh my God, you never do. How come you don't think to? How come you don't do this? How come you are like that? Do you get what I'm saying? That's affirming language, and that's also mixed in with some like accusations, but let's not get into that piece of it. But those are just examples of affirming language, right? So when you use affirming language in ceremonial spaces, you're doing a very powerful thing. Even when you may not be affirming it to the person itself, you just affirm it as a fact or as this is how something is. That can be very, very detrimental to the person you're giving the reading to the person you are performing mediumship for, right? This type of language can do so much more damage than good. And to be aware of that and to be able to curb that is a very, very valuable skill. And one of the ways you can practice that skill, as per usual, anything you can do with spirits, you can do with people. So practice with people. Try your best in your interpersonal relationships to not use negative affirmative language with your partner. And that's just one example, right? Like I can give you so many other examples of how our ego can get in the way of how we relay a message, right? Like tons of examples, right? My point of this video is not to point out all the things that we can do wrong because of our own bullshit. Yeah, that can be helpful if you're unaware of your own behaviors, but the key is to be aware of your behaviors, right? Go to therapy, take public speaking classes, right? Learn about yourself. Learn how people hear you. Ask people who are closest to you. Ask them, how do I sound? Or when I'm passionate about something, what do I sound like? Or when I'm sad about something, what do I sound like? What do I look like to you? Ask people who know you well, okay? And this will help you to understand the mask that you wear, understand the body that you're in, and more importantly, understand how to utilize who you are as a person to be of service and to be helpful to the people you are giving mediumship or giving ceremony to, right? Because that's what we're here for. We're here not to give doom and gloom. Yeah, doom and gloom might be part of the message, but we can relay that doom and gloom in a way that is empowering to the person, that gives the person hope, that gives the person opportunities to alter their destiny or to change a piece that they may not want or agree with. That is what we're here for. We're not here to identify something and then lock that person into that thing, right? That's not what we're here for. If that's God's plan, God will roll that out. We are here to ensure that this person is walking their path of progression, walking their path of light. However that unfolds for them and whatever the plan is for them, may they stay blessed, right? Like that's none of our business. You know what I'm saying? But as a spiritualist, as a spiritist, as an espiritista, as a mystic, as someone who takes my spiritual path really, really seriously, when I'm in ceremony with people, I pay very close attention at how people talk to each other. And I also see how people receive when they get spoken to. And I promise you, if you want spirit messages to really stick, get out of the way. Check your ego and get out of the way. I hope you found this information helpful. With all love, respect, light, and progress. My name is Leilani. This is The Magical Solution, and this is how we grow.